Welcome back to Fame Unfolded. I am your host, Ethan, and today we are looking at the extremely shiny, extremely golden, and extremely expensive lifestyle of Donald Trump. Whether you know him from television, the news, or just as the guy who really loves the color gold, you know he does not do things small. Today we are counting down the top 10 most expensive things he owns. We are talking about giant planes, massive houses, and even watches that cost more than a whole neighborhood of normal houses. Grab your favorite snack, get comfortable in your favorite chair, and let us dive into this golden mountain of wealth. 10. The Trump Victory Tourbillon Watch. $100,000. Imagine checking the time, but instead of looking at your phone or a regular clock on the wall, you look at a watch that costs as much as 100,000 delicious chocolate candy bars. This fancy watch is covered in almost 200 grams of solid gold and has over 120 sparkling diamonds. It is so shiny that you might need to wear sunglasses just to figure out if it is time for lunch. If you wore this watch to the grocery store, people would think you brought a portable disco ball with you. And the funny part is, it still just tells the exact same time as the microwave clock in your kitchen. But Donald Trump loves everything gold, so this shiny wrist candy fits him perfectly. 9. Vows. Custom gold motorcycle. $30,000. Most grandpas ride a bicycle, drive a nice quiet sedan, or maybe take a golf cart around the neighborhood. Not this one. He had a custom motorcycle built by the famous team at Orange County Choppers. And guess what color it is? Yes, it is completely gold. It has actual 24-karat gold parts all over it. Imagine riding down the street and shining brighter than the midday sun. It is so incredibly fancy that I bet the bugs feel bad when they accidentally hit the windshield. You cannot even put normal bumper stickers on this thing because it is basically a giant piece of rolling jewelry. Of course, he probably does not ride it to the local drive-through window to get hamburgers, but just knowing it sits in a clean garage looking fabulous is enough. 8. The Rolls-Royce Phantom $500,000. When you or I go for a drive, we might listen to the radio, sing along poorly, and enjoy the breeze with the windows down. When Donald Trump goes for a drive, he floats on a cloud of absolute luxury. The Rolls-Royce Phantom is so quiet inside that you can hear a tiny little mouse whisper a secret. It has fluffy carpets on the floor that are softer than a sleepy kitten. The seats actually give you a gentle massage while you ride down the highway. $500,000 for a car means it better make me breakfast and do my laundry too. If you ever drop a French fry or spill a juice box in this car, I think the car automatically asks you to leave. 7. Sikorsky S-76 helicopter $7 million. Sometimes sitting in traffic is just too boring and takes way too long. So, what do you do if you are a billionaire? You just fly right over it. This helicopter is not just a regular flying machine with spinning blades. The inside is decorated with, you guessed it again, real gold. The seatbelts have pure gold buckles. Imagine clicking your seatbelt and realizing the buckle is worth more than a gigantic fancy refrigerator. You can fly up high into the clouds, look down at all the tiny little cars stuck in traffic, and eat a fancy turkey sandwich while floating through the sky. I would probably just ask the pilot to fly me straight to the nearest theme park, but Trump usually uses it to travel quickly to his massive golf courses. 6. Trump Winery. $14 million. Imagine owning a farm, but instead of growing regular boring grapes for your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, you grow incredibly fancy grapes on a massive piece of land. This huge estate in Virginia is so big, you could probably get lost for a week and only find your way back by following the smell of money. It features a giant mansion with 23,000 square feet of space. That is bigger than a whole elementary school. You could play the ultimate game of hide and seek there with all your friends. The seeker would give up, go home, and take a nap before they ever manage to find you. It is a massive property that shows he loves to buy land just as much as he loves shiny things. Wait, just one second. Before we get to the top 5 most expensive and outrageous things on our list, I need to ask you a huge favor. If you are enjoying this golden journey and want to see more fun videos about famous people and their crazy toys, hit that subscribe button right now. It is completely free, unlike the $7 million helicopter we just talked about. Also, please give this video a big thumbs up so we know you like it. Are you done? Awesome. Thank you so much. Let us get back to the countdown and see what on earth could possibly cost $100 million. 5. Beverly Hills Mansion. $30 million. Everyone knows Beverly Hills in California is where all the biggest movie stars live. But Donald Trump had a house there that was fit for an actual king. It has 11 huge bedrooms and 12 bathrooms. Why in the world do you need more bathrooms than bedrooms? Maybe you want to use a different toothbrush sink every single day of the week and still have leftovers for your guests. This house has a giant swimming pool, a private tennis court, and even its very own elevator. Imagine taking an elevator to go down to the kitchen for a midnight snack of cookies and milk. I would probably just ride the elevator up and down all day long pressing the shiny buttons. He eventually sold this house, but for a long time it was his sunny California palace. 4. Boeing 757 Trump Force One, $100 million. Forget flying on a normal airplane where you have to share a tiny armrest with a stranger who snores really loudly. Trump bought an entire giant commercial airliner and turned it into a flying luxury hotel. The plane has a private bedroom, a giant flat-screen television, and a fancy dining room. And yes, the sinks in the bathroom are plated in 24-karat gold. Even the seatbelt buckles are gold. I feel like if I flew on this plane, I would be afraid to touch anything in case I got my sticky fingerprints on it. It costs thousands of dollars just to fly it for one single hour. That is like buying a brand new car every time you fly from New York to Florida. It is absolutely gigantic and has his name painted on the side in huge letters so the birds know exactly who is flying past them. 3. Trump Tower Penthouse, $100 million. Now we are heading to New York City. Right at the very top of Trump Tower is a massive 3-story apartment that looks like it was decorated by a king from a magical fairy tale. There are shiny marble floors, crystal chandeliers hanging from the ceiling, and gold paint on almost everything you can see. The front door is even covered in gold and diamonds. It is so bright inside that if the sun hits it right, the whole apartment glows like a giant light bulb. Imagine trying to clean and dust this place. You would need a golden feather duster and about 3 weeks of free time. The big windows show all of Central Park, so you can watch tiny little people eating hot dogs far below while you sit comfortably on a golden chair. 2. Mar-a-Lago Estate, $325 million. Welcome to sunny Florida. This is not just a regular house, it is a massive private club that looks exactly like a castle built for royalty. It has 126 rooms. Think about that for a second. You could sleep in a different room every single night for 4 whole months and never use the same bed twice. It has a beautiful private beach, gigantic ballrooms for dancing, and green lawns so perfect they look like they were cut with tiny little scissors. Trump uses this as his main home now. The dining room alone is bigger than most regular houses. If you drop a spoon at one end of the long dinner table, the person sitting at the other end probably would not even hear it fall. 1. The Gulf Empire, over $1 billion. Finally, the number 1 most expensive thing on our list is not just one item, it is his massive collection of golf courses all over the world. From Scotland to Florida to Dubai, he owns huge places where people pay a lot of money just to hit a little white ball into a small hole. These golf resorts are perfectly green, feature gigantic clubhouses that look like fancy museums, and bring in millions and millions of dollars every single year. Imagine owning enough perfectly cut grass to cover a whole city and paying people to make sure not a single weed ever grows there. It is the ultimate giant playground for the rich. And knowing his style, I would not be surprised if the golf carts had fluffy seats, big screens, and solid golden steering wheels. And that was it for today. We have officially reached the end of our incredibly expensive golden tour. I hope you had an absolute blast learning about these wild and crazy luxury items. If you want to see more amazing stories about the biggest stars and their gigantic fortunes, please check out our other videos here on Fame Unfolded. Stay smiling, stay golden, and I will see you in the next video.